Freaking out, man. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth.
What do all men in power want? More power.
My name is Gianluca Zanna. I was an Italian by birth, and I became an American by choice. Our lives and freedoms are in danger. This is not a drill. If you're listening to this broadcasting, you are the resistance.
All systems go.
Welcome to Love, Guns, and Freedom.
We're not afraid.
Here we go, guys. You're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Luca Zanna on K-Talks 1340 AM. And on United States.fm network. You know, this Sunday, I tell you, I almost was not gonna make it because I have a very big cold. Listen to my voice. I'm completely almost, I'm sick. But guess what? I love doing this show. And when I get guests like this gentleman that I'm gonna have right now in the next few minutes, I would do this show even if I'm dying. Because this is for me exactly the purpose of this program, of this idea that I had. Love, Guns, and Freedom. It's about freedom. Freedom of speech. Freedom to also disagree or to agree, and more important, to learn from each other. Okay? I really want to thank K-Talks again to allow me to say things that normally I know many other commercial stations in the area probably would be very difficult to do. So today, let's go straight to the point. It's about freedom of speech. It's about also learning more about a religion that I really would like to learn more. And I think I got the right guy here today. And it's also about Trump. Everybody's talking about Trump. And guys, I'm an independent. I don't really have any type of side. My only side is the truth. My only side is try to find out how we can rebuild a republic based on the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. Now, the gentleman that I have here is a guy. The guy is a man. Is a man that has an accent like myself. It is not from the country, but I will ask him where he's from. He's a very exciting guy, I'll tell you. He has a lot of stamina, and he was very famous. He's still very famous on YouTube because just a few days ago, he did a speech exposing, at least sharing his opinions about candidate Donald Trump, and he said something very strong about Donald Trump. And guess what? I like people with passion. Let's see exactly, though, where things are, because I want to know more about what he has to say about Donald Trump, and I want to know more about, of course, his point of views about everything. His name is Ibu, and he's right now in Washington State. Ibu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Nice to meet you, Ibu. And can I ask you something? Can you introduce briefly yourself? Where originally you're from? I think...
I'm originally from Gambia, and as right now I'm based in Seattle, Washington.
Perfect. Like me, I was an immigrant myself, as you can hear my accent. I was from Rome, Italy. I came about 17, 18 years ago, 1998. How long did you come here? When did you come here, if I can ask you?
Almost 10 years, more than 10 years now, if I can remember.
You're getting there. Are you already a citizen, if I can ask you?
Yes, sure.
Perfect, great. This is exactly what I like about finding people that we can speak freely about everything. And by the way, I want to thank you. You're a busy guy, and today is Saturday, and you don't know me. And it's funny before, when I asked you for to talk on the show, you went to my Facebook page. You say, hey, you look almost like a KKK, and I said, listen, I don't look like anything like a KKK, but on top, I'm from Italy, but yeah, guns. And I like freedom of speech, and I have on my show everybody. I have people that they want to talk about KKK, I invite them. I may challenge them, but I always here to have a freedom of speech. Now, let's go straight to the point. You have a video that I would like to replay because it's powerful. I tell you, this is something that you got more than 400,000 viewers out there, okay? And it's going to be exactly, you spoke up after Trump said something about the Muslims out there, okay? Now, I will play this at the end. Or maybe I'm going to play now. It's very short. It's 1 minute. You allow me to do that?
Sure.
Perfect. Let me do that, okay? Stay there.
Hello, each and every one of you. Donald Trump said that today on the news, in front of all millions of people, Donald Trump said that they're going to ban Muslim coming to America. Donald Trump, let me tell you one thing. Donald Trump, you need somebody who is going to put you right on your and that person is me. Donald Trump, you don't have no respect. You don't have no manner. You don't have no discipline. You know, because it's because of you are not circumcised. I believe your mother and your father. They are the people who put you in this trouble. Donald Trump, I am a Muslim. Do you know that thousands of Muslims are working in the U.S. Army? Do you know thousands of Muslims are working as police officers in America? Donald Trump, your pussy, your father pussy, your mother pussy, your son pussy, your entire family, you are all bastards. You are bigot. You don't even know the value of America. Donald Trump, you are nothing. You don't have no respect. You need, I bought a knife from Amazon. I will circumcise you. I will circumcise you. You are nothing but a bastard. You are your Donald Trump. Say Japanese, Makoa, your father pussy, your mother pussy, and your entire family.
Okay, I had to stop there a little bit. I need to edit a couple words there, but that's okay. You have a lot of passion there, okay? And everything, I'll tell you, if you didn't bring out the knife from Amazon, the part at the beginning when you said Amazon, I was laughing, and you didn't mention the circumcision, I think, okay, that's great. That's his opinion. He called, the person according to what you think. I just thought a little bit we lose each other there when you start to bring something that you want to do. Why you want to circumcise Donald Trump? Tell me, because I don't know much about what does it mean, that what does really happen when you circumcise somebody against his will? Please.
Exactly, because that is what most of the people are asking me. Why do you want to circumcise him? Because back in Africa, most of the people who don't have no respect are people who don't circumcise. Because back in Africa, if they circumcise you, they're going to show you manhood, how a man should behave, how a man should talk. There are certain kind of words that you don't have to say those kind of words. A word that it can bring difference.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a freedom fighter myself. Have been fighting freedom for thousands of people around the world. That's why I do comedy. So I do it in a way where I used to talk about what is going on around the world. So that's why I saw that what Trump was saying is wrong, and the word that he said is very alarming, because thousands of Americans are living in Muslim countries. So this kind of word, it can make some, radicals to have more chance, to recruit more Muslims, fooling them, telling them misinformation about Islam, which, it was not true, So because last time I saw on TV, there is one Muslim guy who was radicalized, but thank God before he's going to leave the country, I think he was going to Syria, if I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
But his parents report him to the FBI before he's going to leave the country. So, and the boy, according to the FBI, if I can remember, they were saying that the boy was radicalized. He was talking with some ISIS members, and they were telling him that, you see, America, they don't like Muslims, they are taking your tax money, they are bombing innocent Muslims, they are doing this, all sorts of bad things, So, okay, those are the words that ISIS is using to radicalize Muslims, so who, they don't know much about Muslims, That's why, the word that Donald Trump just said, ISIS can use those kind of words as a propaganda and say, okay, you see, this is the word that Donald Trump just said, and it is true. So, that also can influence some Muslims, Muslim kids, because, most of the people that ISIS don't need Muslims from Africa or other part, because we know the religion, very well. So what they need are Muslims who are living overseas, who don't know too much about the religion, So
okay.
That's what, yes.
Let me ask you something. This is important, okay? First of all, you agree with me one thing. I mean, what you were saying, I think was okay. It's your opinion. I'm not even saying it's right or wrong. It's your opinion. That was fine, okay? That's fine. The only thing I tell you, for me, coming from maybe, I'm glad you explained to me that from your culture, the fact that when you circumcise somebody, you show your manhood and all these things, because I have no idea, okay? I'm normally in Italy, we don't circumcise ourselves. But the point is, the way people may look at that, when you bring somehow to a conversation a knife and you want to inflict some sort of a surgical operation to that person that you disagree with, may sound a little disturbing, that part. Don't you agree with me if you look at this from a perspective of a Western world?
Yeah, that is true, because that is how most of the people are saying, okay, he just saw of a knife, and he say, some people it's just a threat, but I was just talking. I'm a comedian, so that is the way that I think I can have more attention.
No,
I was
no,
just
I understand. I understand. You made your
yeah.
point. You made your point. Don't get
Yeah,
me
I was
wrong.
just looking at attention, so that people can hear the message that I'm saying, because I have been making too much of videos. I don't have too much of attention like that.
I
But you can
understand.
see as how I see it and how I do it, I'm having too much of attention because I'm seeing myself right now on TV and people are calling me different kind of name.
Hmm.
And more than 10 newspapers in England, are putting me on newspapers and different kind of stuff. But I'm very glad that my words also are going over, so that people can know we the Muslims, we don't hate America, we don't hate Christians, so what I don't want is the politician to use us as a weapon, because where I'm from a country where we have 95% Muslims, but the Christians, we live with them, we eat with them, we marry with them, and we do everything with them. So if politicians want to divide us, so I don't like the politician to divide us through our religion, because we the Muslim, we love Christians, and Christian, they love us. So as Jewish, as homosexuals or gay or whatever, I'm a person who respect everybody. I have friends who are gay, but my religion did not accept homosexual. But yes, it's my religion that did not accept homosexual.
Okay.
But I personally, I have friends who are gay, because I'm not going to judge them that they are going to hellfire or they are going to do this, just like what other Muslims do, because I have a friend who is gay, and then, a friend of me called me and told me, you don't have to go with this person because he's gay. I tell him, you know what, you cannot tell me what I have to do.
Hmm.
I can go with whoever I want, even he's gay or he's bi or he's this. That's nobody's business. Nobody should judge nobody. God is the one that should judge. So I have the right to go with nobody.
I agree. Yeah.
So that's my feeling. So
Let me ask you something, please,
Yes.
because you really seem like a very smart person, by the way, and articulate, and of course, and also, you seem like a nice guy. I like the fact that you respect others, even if people they don't comply with your beliefs. That's great, and that's exactly where I'm coming from. I want to respect everybody who respect myself and does not want to use force to impose their beliefs on me. Normally,
true.
I don't even talk on religion on this show. I keep for myself. I try to talk about things that's supposed to be common to every human being. It's about freedom. It's about love. It's about, of course, also guns. I believe that, especially in America, we have the Second Amendment that is a right, is an individual right that defend all the other rights from tyrants. That's a fact. You may like knife. I like guns. That's the point. But regardless, now my only point is one, and I'm glad you're here because I want to thank you. I'm here with an open mind. And I'm just here as a student, okay? I grew up Catholic, but then I left the Catholic, and I am myself considered a Christian. Even normally I don't go out and talk about it because I'm just a little sinner, and I'm not here in condition to preach to anybody. But I like to read books. I like to read every book. I have a copy of the Bible. I have a copy of the Mormon Bible. I have a copy of the Protestant Bible. I have a copy of the Quran, and I have the copy of the Torah. Every book I can read, I put my hands on it. Now, you're the guy that you're a Muslim, right? So that's the fact.
Yeah.
Good. You're the right person to ask. Now, what you said, I think, was very comforting. The fact that you say, I have a gay friend that, I'm not going to tell him that they're going to rot in hell. It's their business, but I'm still my friends. And I have Christians, and that's great. And I have Jews, and that's great. They do what they want. I do what I want. Nobody bothers each other. We all going to live happy. And that's exactly was the idea of America. We respect each other. Now, I have only a question. And this, don't get me wrong, I'm not naive. For example, I tell you where I'm coming from, so you know everything about me, okay? I know very well that they've been globalist elite. The New World Order, the global government, is been using puppets, okay, creating enemies to go to war in countries like, for example, the Middle Eastern. Okay, for example, I'm not naive. You're not talking to the radio show guy here. I think that 11 people or 18 people with a box cutter put down 9/11. Okay, that was a false, was a lie. We know very well that there is a lot of things don't adds up. Like, for example, I know we have enough evidence, okay, that for this ISIS is being funded by the CIA and England. Okay, that's a fact. So it's a creation of this part of these governments that is not our government anymore to go to create this completely eternals, non-stop wars. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, the bottom line, for example, in Syria now, they want to oust out Assad. Okay, so they needed to create the excuse of ISIS, and that's what they were using ISIS. We know that. So I'm not naive. I understand that all this is being, for example, like even the San Bernardino shooting. Did you hear about that? Right? You know that something doesn't adds up. I mean, there were, for example, 3 shooters. They've been witnessed by several people, and now they disappear. And now the blue, you have one man and one 90-pound woman becoming Rambo out of the blue. I mean, something doesn't adds up. And don't get me wrong. I understand that people can be radicalized, people can be brainwashed, can be somehow used as pawns. So I don't say that, for example, there are no people killing other people in the name of a god. No, it's happened. But also it's point that they've been somehow creating them or using them as patsies, like, for example, in Jeff Kennedy assassination. Now, let's go into the point of where exactly you come in. You are the expert. I would like to ask you some questions in a very scientific way. I'm not taking side of any religion. I'm just here as an open mind to learn, okay? Now, the first questions I have, because I talked also about this a couple of shows ago. In your religion, who is your role model? Is he, according to what I read in the Quran, is Muhammad is your role model? Is a man that anyway you should get inspiration? Like, for example, for the Christian, is Jesus Christ? Tell me yes or not, so I understand.
Yes, it's Prophet Muhammad.
So good. Okay, I understand. So, and at the end of the day, what is your book, your holy book that you must comply? Like for the Christian, the New Testament and the Bible, of course, is your book, the Quran, correct? That's your book.
Yeah, the Holy Quran.
Okay. Now, you for example, I see Christians sometimes they pick and choose as what they want to learn, okay, or what they want to comply with. But the idea that if you're a real Christian, you need to live by the 10 commandments. That's the bottom line. If you're a real Muslim, you need to comply with your book. Am I right or wrong?
That's right.
Perfect. Now, I want to ask you, because as I said, I like you because you got an open mind, that you live here and it seems like you respect everybody else. But I see other reality, for example, coming in other countries, like, in Saudi Arabia. If we were in this conversation, like me and you in Saudi Arabia, probably we would be, I don't know, something may happen just because we debate, just because we talk about something. We don't have the type of freedom of speech. Reading from the Quran, okay, and reading from the Bible. I'm trying to, for example, this comparison. The Quran says, and correct me if I'm wrong, I got it here, I'm trying to read it, okay? Allah does not love those who reject Islam, okay? And that's from Quran 30:45. That means, Allah does not love, if you reject Islam, Allah doesn't love you. Okay, that's his opinion. Allah doesn't need to love you. But Jesus said, okay, God loves everyone. That's a little comparison to different type of gods, okay, in this situation. But that's not even the point, because hey, Allah doesn't love me. That's okay. I'm sorry about that, but nobody's done yet. Now, where I really a little start to get concerned, there are a lot of parts in the different passages of, for example, the Muslim religion in different parts of the Quran. For example, Muslim 42:06, stone women for adultery. Jesus said, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." Jesus said, "Hey, if you have no sin, nobody has no sin. So don't start to stone this woman." So we have, in this country, I'm glad you're like, all of us. But you see, when you start to apply this principle directly from the book under the Sharia law, that after all is nothing special, it's just the law. Tell me if Sharia law is something exceptional. Don't you think Sharia law is just something part of the Muslim religion or not?
Yes. The only thing I can say, to be honest with you, Sharia is part of our law. That is part of Muslims' law. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, but to be honest with you, I am a Muslim. But to be honest with you, I'm scared of Sharia. I'm talking about me, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. I'm a Muslim, and I'm scared of a Sharia, because what I want to live in a place where I can be free, I can able to go to nightclub, I can able to hang out with friends, I can able to do my things. That is what I want. But
Okay.
to be honest with you, for me, I feel so threatened to live in a country where there are Sharia, because that means there are too much of things that I am used to. Because if I was born in a Sharia country, maybe I can say, okay, I was born in a Sharia, okay, I understand Sharia. But I was not born in a Sharia country, because I know there are certain kind of stuff. If you do it in Saudi Arabia, they're going to beheaded you, and they're going to, kill you if you
Yeah.
do certain kind of stuff. But to be honest with you, that's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
But that does not mean all Muslims, are practicing Sharia. You know. Okay, because there is a one British man who went to Saudi Arabia, and then they caught him with the alcohol, so they beat him up and they put him in prison. So people are saying, okay, no, they have the religion, blah blah blah. No, the Saudi Arabia are using Sharia. Okay, so people have to respect people's law. If that country is using Sharia, the country say don't do this. If you go to that country, don't do that. Because that is what I trust. That's why since I come to America, I respect people's property, people's right. That is That's why I'm a very open-minded person. I deal with different kind of people. I don't care who you are, which language you speak, and where you come from. But I'm a Muslim. But I'm scared of Sharia. Because if I go to today, if you tell me, do you want to stay in England for the rest of your life, or do you want to go and stay Saudi Arabia for the rest of your life? I'm talking about me. I will
Yes.
say I want to live in England
I understand.
because
And I'm glad. And I'm
because you
glad.
have freedom of everything there. But what because in Saudi Arabia, I don't mind to go and visit, and if I go and visit Saudi Arabia, I will behave like how they want peoples to behave. I will not commit any crime that they going to beheaded me or do something wrong.
Okay, but
That's
don't get me
that's
wrong.
me.
Listen, I'm glad you're like this because we have at least the same type of mindset. Probably we could not have this conversation if you were saying no. We gotta all observe Sharia law. There would be
Hell no.
no debate. Okay, everybody pack their guns and we see you on the other side. I mean, I'm glad you're like that. My only point is one. It's not about you now. It's about thinking about you are like a smart guy. You're a guy that understand the freedom, and also at the end of the day, your God will judge you and you live your life according to what you think is right, and then God will judge you. But nobody needs to chop your head, okay? That's the bottom line. Even if you make a mistake, let your God judge you. And that's the way I live my life. I'm a sinner, and one day I'll be judged by my God, okay? But nobody must tell me how many cigarettes I can smoke. By the way, I don't smoke. Or how much wine I can drink, or how many women I can have. That's the bottom line. It's my life, okay? Now, the only concern is for me, it's that according to the book, okay, I'm just going by the book. The
Yeah,
book
if you say
that
the book, which one? The Bible you're talking, or the Quran?
I'm talking about the Quran now, and I'm talking comparing, of course, with the New Testament, and I'm focusing on those two parts, okay? Because I would like to call Christianity with the New Testament of Jesus Christ, and let's let it go for a moment. Because Jesus Christ, we know, was a hippie. Somehow, he never wanted to harm anybody. Even, of course, he got mad at the bankers at the temple. That was great. That part I really like that, okay? But I'm wanting to focus now because you are the expert on the Muslim, and I would like to ask you questions like this. So, my point is, when we have many people that they follow the book by the word, okay? And there is a fact. It's not just Saudi Arabia. I mean, look now, for example, you go in many parts of England. We were talking about England. There are a lot of neighborhood that they want to apply Sharia law. And when you have a majority of population that they cannot integrate with the new reality, or they don't want to integrate with the new reality, they want to bring also their laws. In Norway, in Sweden, it's happening the same. I mean, I heard situations in Italy. Unfortunately, they
Okay,
want.
I understand that portion. Let me cut you off very quick. Let me tell you one thing.
Yes.
The understanding that I have, there are certain kind of cultures that we need to leave behind. If you are from Middle East, if you are from Middle East or Africa or anywhere you are from in this world, if you come to America, you have to adopt some American cultures. There are some cultures that America, they don't allow those kind of cultures. So those kind of culture, you have to leave them behind. If you want to bring those cultures that they didn't want and it's against their law, that means you are the one who is trying to bring trouble. Let me tell you one thing.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, because what I understand is this. If you go to Rome, do as Romans do. You cannot go to people's country and say, I will put on a, just like the in France, the France say they ban Muslim for wearing to cover all their face. I support France of doing that because it's France, that's their country.
Wow.
If you don't want it, if you are a Muslim, you from another country, you don't want it, take your back, leave the country, period.
Wow.
That's it. You know, people need to understand this is their country. They can do whatever they want that they think is protecting themselves. And France are not doing this to harm Muslims. And then as a Muslim, you have to cover your hair. That is what they say. But they don't say your face. You know, I'm from Africa. And Senegal today, Senegal is 99.9% Muslim. In Senegal today, they ban Muslim for covering all their face. It's because of the Senegalese, because they are safety. In Chad is a 95% Muslim. They ban women to cover all their faces just because of Boko Haram is there. You know? And all these countries are all Muslim countries. So people need to understand, if you don't want to do that, pack your stuff, leave their country, because this country belongs to them. If they say, okay, we have a law that we don't need this, my friend, take your stuff and leave the country. Period. That's the understanding that that I have. You can go ahead.
Ebu, I respect you for that. You know, I'm telling you, I'm glad we talked because that's important. You understand that every country has their own sovereignty. They have their own rules. And that's why I like it too, because, you know, that's what used to be beautiful about the world. You know, you don't like a place, you go to another one. So you understand how they're trying to create a global government. I'm sure you're familiar with the word term New World Order. You know, they wanted to create all this one global government where there is no more place to go, but we're going to be all under the centralized tyranny. But and that's exactly my point, you know. For example, if we have in a country, like, you know, now, for example, they are using this crisis that was created. This is according to now media, mainstream media, Syria and ISIS. We have documents from the Pentagon that is all be engineered because they want to, the Pentagon and this administration, Obama wants to create this new regime after Assad. So, yes, the refugees, they were part of the consequences because if you start to bomb the crap out of that country for 2 years, people, they're going to have no more homes to stay and they need to go somewhere. But they knew it. Now, what is strange, though, and I want your opinion here, that all these refugees that we are bringing here, 99.9%, we don't have any more some sort of a mix like used to be. Like you have little Christians, little Jews, and little Muslim. We have mostly Muslim. Don't you think there is maybe an agenda here? Because as you said before, and I'm going through by your words, you know, you say you go to that country in Senegal or Ghana or whatever, they're 99% Muslim and we live by their rules. And I agree. If I would go to your country, I would respect the rules, or maybe I wouldn't go at all. Okay? But now, if you come to America, you start to bring 100,000, 200,000 and more, unlimited, or at least no melting pot, because we're supposed to be a melting pot, a little bit of everything, so nobody takes over. That's the idea. Now, don't you see there is maybe a little trend to create some sort of a privilege just towards a group? And what if in 10 years from now, like in Michigan or many other states, we have a huge majority in some areas of complete people that they don't come to assimilate, as you said, you know, you need to assimilate at least the basic cultural stuff, but they want to, after all, they can vote, and they can vote elected representative and bring some sort of a Sharia law. For example, in the city council of Michigan or some part of that area there, they can start to say, I don't want to have any type of liquor store in the type of radius of miles around the mosque. And people say, I'm not drinking in your mosque, but I want to drink my beer because maybe I'm not a Muslim or I'm not a Christian or whatever. So that's my only point. You know, we're supposed to be a melting pot. Have a little bit of everybody, we all respect each other. I see instead there is an agenda, especially with the Syrian refugees, to bring mostly 99% just Muslims. We don't hear about any Jews or any Christians. What do you think about that? I want your opinion.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't see Muslims, these refugees, as a threat. To be honest with you, what I see as a threat, people with mental illness who are just taking guns, killing innocent people. Those are the people that I saw as a threat. But these refugees, refugees have the right to go to anywhere they want because right now there's a war in their country. So they have, America also have the right to go and help them, bring them here so that they can settle down. And then just to let you know, some of these refugees, all of them are not Muslim. They are refugees who are Christians who today they are in America today because there's a war in Syria. There is a one family that I saw that they are Christians. So some people think that all these refugees are Christian, are Muslim, are Muslim, are Muslim. No, just like what is happening in Palestine. Because of Gaza keep on bombing people of Palestine. They are killing them, and people think that all the people they are killing are all Muslims. You have Christians in Palestine who are living there.
Okay.
So that is what I want people to understand. Refugees, they are just innocent. They don't do anything wrong. So I support the government, for taking time to save life and bring refugees here.
Let me ask you something. First of all, let's see with the point. I want to be sure we got it right. Don't you think that first of all, it is the status of refugee? It doesn't give you a right to go to anywhere, but is always according to the benevolence or the benevolence of the country and the people who are gonna pay for you. So it's not like a right. For example, let's say I'm a refugee from Italy, okay, and I want to go to Ghana, okay. It's not like a right. I mean, the Ghana government look at me and say, wait a second, I want to let you in if I want you in because I'm nice. But it's not like a right for me as an Italian person or a guy from another country come to your country and say, I want to be in Ghana, to Ghana. That's not a right. We agree on that. Don't you think I'm...
yes, your that person is true. Refugees...
it is not a right. It's not a right. I mean, it's an act of love.
So, because what I'm trying to say... There is refugees have the right to go to anywhere they want, okay?
Well, I don't think so.
If they are stuck, just like right now, okay, refugees who are in Kenya or they are in France or they are in Denmark or whatever, they have the right to go to any country. But if that country did not let them, and then another country say, okay, I will help you and let you guys in, that's fine, But refugees also have the right to go to anywhere they want.
Okay, listen, refugees have the right to say whatever they want, and they can have the right to wish to go anywhere they want.
Exactly. So now is the...
I mean, that's a right.
Okay, I will help you and bring you here, or the France will say, okay, I will help you and bring you. But the refugees also have the right to say, okay, France, I don't want to go to France. I want to go to Germany.
Okay,
Germany
and that's fine.
Say,
that's as a human being, you can choose. I wish I could go to Mars. I wish I could go to America. That's of course, so you can. But you know what right means? Right means that you something you were born with. That means, like, for example, you have, as a human being, the right to be free. You have the right to defend yourself. You have the right of freedom of speech. We're talking about the basic rights enumerated in our Bill of Rights. But to go to another country that somebody's supposed to pay for you, like, for example, this country is paying for the refugee and the other country they pay, that's not a right. That's called a privilege. Because after all...
Yes, that is a privilege, but they also have a right because they are also human beings. Because that's their, so.
But remember something
that does not mean that if I pay for you and I bring you here, I will tell you what to do. That is not right.
But remember something.
Help me and save me, and then show me the way how I can be successful. But don't say, okay, I will help you, bring you here, and then I will use you as my slave. You're going to do this for me or do that stuff for me. That is not what America stands for.
Of course not. Of course not.
Helping people, and then when they come and then they show them ways. Because I saw a Syrian refugees who just come here recently. Right now, they live in a very peaceful house, and they're getting help from the government. They are going to school. They are learning the language. That is That is the value of United States of America.
Ibu,
That's
let
how
me
this
ask you
country-
something. Let me ask you something. And then, okay,
Yes.
we understand the word rights and privilege. Of course, we are human beings. When you're here, everybody should be treated with respect. The moment that you accept it, that's fine. But remember, you cannot force somebody else to give you charity, because that becomes an extortion. Okay, that's the bottom
true.
line. That's the bottom. But now, going back to the numbers, because as I say, I'm here as an humble learner, and on top I go by facts. I don't go by emotion. I want to talk about facts. You said that most of the refugee. I was saying, a statement that I would like to see refugees, if they have to come, they come in a way that they are integrated and there is a melting pot. So there are a lot of Christians and a lot of Muslims, a lot of Jews, a little bit everything. You said that mostly.
I understand that. Yes, I understand about.
Oh, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you
understand.
a fact, only a fact. According to the State Department, okay, this is the State Department of this Obama administration, so it's not some right-wing book or something like that.
Yes.
The State Department said November the 13th has admitted 237 Syrian refugees into the United States. That was just a little number. And 236, they were Sunni Muslim, okay? And there was one Christian. That's according to the facts. So the point is, right now, the data that they start to come true, according to the facts, it is exactly contradicting what I was trying to say. I mean, what you were trying to say. I would like to see a melting pot. I mean, if they have to come here, let's have some Jews, some Muslims, and some Christians. Instead, the Obama administration admitted that they let in like 90.9% of Muslims, and they are Sunni Muslim. I don't even know the difference between a Sunni Muslim and another Muslim, but the point is, that's exactly my point. So
Yeah, that is true, because that portion, what you have to understand there, before you come to America as a refugee, there are some tests and there are some questions that they need to ask you. So if you pass those tests, that is the time they can let you into their country. Maybe there are some Christians who did it and then they failed the test. That's why. Maybe there are some Muslim who are majority of the Muslims
So-
are the one that do the test and Papa has it, because on that portion I cannot say anything about that. But the portion that I want you to understand is, if refugees come to this country, they have to apply and they have to understand you are not in your country. You are in someone's country. So there are certain kinds of culture you cannot they cannot tolerate those kind of cultures. This is what our refugees to understand. This is what I want the entire Muslims and Christians to understand. If you go to Rome, do as Romans do, but that does not mean you will not you are not entitled to do your to worship your God, because America, they don't ban nobody to worship your God, but what people need to understand, especially right now, is bringing some kind of small argument with the Muslim community since it started in France about all this I don't know, debating, I don't know how they call it, covering all your faces, this
now,
yes.
I have a question for you. So you tell me that according to what you said, the Christians, they had to do the same test of the Muslims to become refugees, and maybe they failed the test. So 99% of the Muslims were able to come, and only one Christian came. That's what
I'm just talking about my mind. Maybe
I
not
not.
a refugee.
Listen, I don't think.
Yes, maybe not. Because I talked to a Somalian refugee. He told me that there's a test that they normally give you, and there are some questions that they normally ask you. So when you pass those questions, that's the question that they normally send here. If you approve, then they give you.
Maybe there is more. Listen,
paper.
let's have an open mind. Let's have an open mind, okay? Because I don't take any parts. Don't you think maybe there is an agenda? I mean, after all, President Obama.
To be honest with you, I don't know if there's agenda there. Maybe, I have no idea.
Okay, but strange though that 99%, according to the State Department, they were Muslims, and only 1% were Christians. I mean, this Christian must be very stupid, for God's sake. I mean, if all the Muslims, they pass the test and only one Christian passed it, I start to believe maybe the test is too difficult for Christians. I'm being sarcastic here, okay? Okay, anyway,
Exactly.
I'm just trying to have an open mind and everything. Now, I want to ask you something. On this show, I don't believe in left and right. I believe in right or wrong. I believe in freedom and tyranny. And of course, I also believe that both parties, they are control at the top level, and they're doing exactly the same thing. Okay, that's where I'm coming from. Now, I don't know politically where you stand, but I would like to ask you: did you support President Obama during the election?
To be honest with you, yes.
Okay.
But there are some stuff that President Obama is doing right now which I do not support. But
Okay.
to be honest with him, I support it.
Tell me exactly the things that you do not support. Let's see what you think he failed you.
Yeah, using drone, killing innocent people, thousands of people right now because of this drone. The drone is killing too much of people that, they are innocent, and bombing of Syria and all this nonsense that they are doing. Because most of the time, all what I saw on TV is the bomb is just hitting on innocent people. But no, but all what I hear on the news, they say, Obama administration say, okay, we kill ISIS this, we kill this, we kill that. But where are the proof? We don't see all those proofs. But the only proof that we see are the innocent people that are dying. That is what I do not accept, because, and then from there, also there's another part that, I do not support because President Obama, and his government, they put a sanction on the Gambian government because according to President Obama and his government that they say the president put some homosexuals in prison. That's why they put a sanction on that government, So,
Okay.
so I don't think that is fair because, what I think President Obama should do, they should not put a sanction because of the Gambia government put some gay people in prison, because people were accusing the Gambia government too much of shit, that is more than putting gay people
Okay,
in.
I understand.
But they didn't put any sanction on them. So why they're going to put just few gay people in prison? So right now the American government are saying, okay, we have to put a sanction on them, which I don't think is fair. But I know, and what I understand too, the Gambia government, I think, on my own opinion, I don't think they have to put gay people in prison. I don't, it's because of that's who they are. That's who they are. I don't think nobody should put gay people in prison because of they are gay, or no government have the right, to put other peoples in prison. I don't think that is okay. I'm just talking about my mind. So I don't know how other people.
Ebu, let me tell you something. I really believe you're a great guy, and I like to talk to you. But I just think, according to you follow your heart, you follow the idea that we're supposed to respect each other, and I'm with you, okay? I'm completely with you there, even if we may have different beliefs. The only thing, if I had to judge you by your book, okay, you're not exactly 100% Muslim, okay? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. That is what I always say, because, just like what you say.
They would chop your head in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Ebu, you would be chopped in pieces.
Huh?
In Saudi Arabia, they would chop you as a little, stuffed meat.
Go.
Okay.
There you go. Because this is that's why I say, you know what? I'm a Muslim, but I'm scared of Sharia myself.
Okay, and that's great. At least I used to have. Let me tell you something.
As you say on your, on your show, I consider myself as a Muslim, and I am a Muslim. I'm going to do my 5 daily prayer. I'm going to love people. I will accept people of who they are. I will give charity, and I'm going to go with my normal life.
Okay, that's great.
If I do anything wrong, that is between me and God.
Excellent. And I agree with you. This is exactly the way I also live my religion. I don't go out and tell people how to live their life. I go by minding my business, and I
I know some Muslims who are Muslim, they drink alcohol. I know some Muslims who are Muslim, they smoke weed, But, that does not mean that, I have to judge them of you smoking alcohol, or you drinking alcohol, you go to hellfire, because God said that if I don't forgive you guys, none of you guys will go to heaven. So, so that will show you guys how how to say this? That will show you how mercy is Almighty God. You see, do you and also there's a verse in the Quran. God said that follow your religion and leave other people to follow their religion. Don't tell other people your religion is bad. Don't say and don't judge people.
But let me ask you something. You just brought something important. I'm trying to understand. For example, one thing that according to the Quran says, or at least this is about the Bukhari, and IBN Ishaq. I don't know exactly what it means, but for example, there was is permitted stealing from unbelievers. And also another important thing, I know that in all the countries that they follow the Sharia law, according to the Quran, if you are not, let's say, a Muslim, you must pay a tax, the dhimma. So that's, they let you have your religion, but you cannot, let's say, express it in like you could do, like you if you are a Muslim, you cannot even build a church, and more important, you have to pay a tax to the Muslim government if you are not a Muslim. That's the options that you have, and this is not me saying it. This is a public official law directly from your books. Are you familiar with the dhimma?
No, I don't never hear that, but I don't never hear that, but I have no idea on that.
I tell you exactly. You can find it in different parts. This is. I tell you also the passages if you want. But the point is, I like the way you look at your religion, and you almost make it a new religion, in my opinion, and maybe not. But you respect the other people, and that's great. You don't go out and judge others, and you live in peace with everybody. That's great. I love that. And that's why we have this conversation. But I'll tell you, here in front of me, as I said, I read the books, okay? I don't go anything by what I read. And people can say, okay, I don't like this passage, I don't like that. Like I know many Christians, they pick and choose what they want to do, okay? But that doesn't mean that you're a good Christian. You need to follow your New Testament, okay? I mean, and don't get me wrong, we may make sin and we may ask to God forgiveness. But if you want to be a good follower of your religion, you must live by your book. And there are a lot of parts on your book, I'm telling you, they freak me out a little bit because,
That's true. That's true. That's why I'm still telling you that I do not want to live in a country where they have Sharia law.
Yeah, my point is only one. My point is only one. I wish more people like you would come here, and we can all live in peace, and we all can respect each other. You got brain, you understand that you want to have your freedom, and at the same time you're a reasonable person, and you understand that there are some parts of the book that they try to push sometimes. They are part that they have violence, and we don't want to accept that, and that's great. You're a reasonable person, but unfortunately, you know very well, my friend, that there are people coming from part of the world that they have not much education, they don't have a chance to see the rest of the world, and they were raised since they were children with this type of belief system to read by letter everything, memorize it, and apply it. Now, when you bring a number of that, they don't have a chance to assimilate. Like we were saying before, you come to Rome, you live like Romans, okay? I go to Gambia, I live like a Gambian, and that's it. I come to America, you live like an American, okay? But if you don't have a type to assimilation, you don't have the type of numbers that they cannot become a majority, they must become some sort of a mix. Then we have a problem. We may wake up, me and you, maybe 10 years from now, in a neighborhood, that they're going to say, you know what, now we want to do Sharia law. No more beer, no more that, no more women, no more whatever, and everybody must comply. Otherwise, you know what, we put you in front of a judge, and the judge is one that is going to observe Sharia law. Unfortunately, it's happening in Europe, my friend. You know that in Sweden, they start to apply some part of the Sharia law, like in Sweden, and they try to push it also in some part, like in Texas. So that's my only concern, because not everybody is like you. That's my problem, I wish we could be.
That portion, what you say there is true. So, those people, if that is their belief, they want to bring Sharia in America, that depends to American, if they think that, okay, these people, they should have Sharia, we should give them that right for them to use it in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's Texas, because Washington State have different kind of some of their right and some of their law is different with Arizona.
No, I understand. No, listen. You're talking to somebody. I completely believe in the 10th Amendment. It's called the state power. But there is a problem. There is a problem. One second.
So now, if these Muslim minority say that they want to have a Sharia law here or da da da. It depends to the federal government. If the
No,
federal
no, no,
government say
no, no.
okay, they can have it.
Ibo, let me tell you something. It doesn't depend on any government. You as a human being, you have right. Even 99% of the people they say that you don't, you still have. Okay, that's
Yes.
exactly what we have to need to remind each other and to the world. We are not a
It's true.
democracy. We are a constitutional republic. That's why we have a Bill of Rights. I don't care if 99.99% of my neighbors they're gonna go with Sharia law or Mormon laws or Catholic law, whatever. I do what I think is right for me. I have freedom of speech. I have the Second Amendment. I have all the rest of Bill of Rights. So that's exactly my fear is that unfortunately we've been brainwashed that we are a democracy, and then when we have people in start to vote politicians that they're gonna follow their religious agenda, we may have to face now. Hey, after all, 51% of the people voted for Sharia law. We must go for it because this is a democracy. No, this is not a democracy because we're supposed to have a right. Even if you are just one against 100, nobody going to deny you your freedom of speech. Nobody's supposed to deny you your freedom to defend yourself and to own property and life. Okay, that's the bottom line. So and that's my problem. Sometimes you got people that come from like it's not just the Muslim. Even for example, people come from Europe or come from I don't know countries like Mexico that they use that they are a democracy. They're brainwashed with this word and they think, okay, we go there, we vote, and they vote they all control anyway with the machine and with the media, the propaganda. So 51% of the people tomorrow can say you. For example, as a human being, you have no right to exercise your freedom of speech. Hey, it was the law. I don't care. I don't care about that law. For me, that law is null and void. So, but unfortunately, that's the fear that we need to be concerned. When we have people that they think they can vote us out of our unalienable rights, we have a problem. That's what we need to defend our freedom from. And unfortunately, don't get me wrong, this is not happening because now all the Muslims, they want to come to America. This is a plan to divide and conquer created by the New World Order, by the globalists. They want to create this enemy, in my opinion, that they want to, of course, extremize, create this sort of, they propping it up. Like Al Qaeda was created during the 70s, during the Carter administration, and then was funded by the Bush administration during the Afghanistan war. We know that. And so this ISIS is funded by this administration. They need to have an enemy so they can remove our freedoms. They can put the Patriot Act. They can put, the National Defense Authorization Act of 2012 with the clause of indefinite detention signed by Obama. Are you aware of it?
Yes, but what I want you to understand there, okay, I accept some of your
But think about
point
it.
that you
They're
said.
using us against
Yeah.
each other to divide us and to create this enemy. And we know very well, these are facts. History will prove that we were right. 9/11 was a false flag. It's like, for example, don't get me wrong, they may have people that they like it, the people jumping on the street, whatever. And, I tell you something, if you start to drone the crap out of a country and innocent people die, you're going to create terrorists. That's a fact. That's a fact.
There you go.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but
But they are doing intentionally.
What I want you to understand, the word freedom of speech and democracy depend on a country and its people. So you cannot go to other parts of Africa. You say, okay, I will make sure here you have democracy and freedom of speech. If people are so brutally and people, they don't have that kind of mind.
Oh, of course.
If
I would never
you
go to
get-
Africa, my friend. I don't even go to Italy anymore because I would be arrested in few hours. You realize
There
that?
you go. So that's why you need to understand there are different countries, they don't respect freedom of speech
And-
and people's right.
Exactly.
So this
Ebu,
is
that's
what
why
you
we are
got-
here
got
in
to
America.
understand. So if
Ebu,
you got-
we are here
Yeah.
in America, and I think every new American, every immigrant, refugee or not, should understand this basic concept that you have right until you infringe on somebody else's rights. You can believe in your dog, in your cat, in your God, whatever you want. You can have, in my opinion, you can have 10 women if you want. Honestly, I believe that the federal government, they can tell you now how many is mingling the marriage is wrong. If I can afford it, I can have 5 wives, it's my business, okay? Not government business. Of course, with the condition that there is no coercion, no force, and everybody's in love. That's great. Okay, but the point is we need to respect each other. That's the most important thing. At least I want to really thank you. You have no idea. I was sick today. I got cold and flu, but you made me feel better talking with you and exchanging ideas and proving the point that on this radio show we can talk about everything. And sometimes when we talk, we can find out that maybe we are not that different after all. You realize that?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. At least my friendly little, brotherly. I don't want to give you, let's say, advice because I'm not body to advice, but a little tip. When you do YouTube, don't bring the Amazon knife, okay? Maybe bring some other knife, okay? But don't bring knives at all. You were doing great. You were expressing yourself, regardless people may agree or not with you. The only thing, when you start to bring the knife in a conversation, can be misunderstood. And I understand now you explained to me with the circumcision, the manhood, blah, blah, blah. But people don't get that. Sometimes we don't know. Okay, so
exactly.
Just
thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Okay, Lisa, thank you very much. And I want to say, everybody out there, guys, listeners, please, I need your help. Okay, this show is supported by you, and I'm here because we can do exactly what we're doing. Everybody's welcome. If you come here, you have differences of opinion, maybe we don't understand each other, I want you here. I give you first of the line, okay? But I need your support. Please, guys, go to my website, www.zanna.us. Zanna.us. You can download any of my songs, and with just 99 cents, you will keep the show free. And you're listening to Love, Guns, and Freedom with Lucas Zanna on K-Talk 1340 AM. Don't go away. Ready for our number 2. It's all about guns.
La 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 la. Sucking our blood, they're stealing our lives away. If we are too busy, or we're too afraid, we're already lost our soul. We're already their slaves. Now is the time to stand for our rights. Now is the time to pray and fight. Fight! Revolution, rebirth of a nation. Now it's our time to show who we really are. Revolution, a peaceful solution. But we're not afraid to stand for what is right. The day will come when we'll all be gone. What are we waiting for? Let's live with honor. Let's go, they've pushed our limits. Where's our pride? Are we already dead? Or are we still alive? Look at the mirror, go find your soul. You are the answer now. You go! Revolution, rebirth of a nation. Now it's our time to show who we really are. Revolution, a peaceful solution. But we're not afraid to stand for what is right. Revolution, rebirth of a nation.